Hi, good evening, gentlemen. This is Abedur Rahman Shimu here. We were supposed to go live today on Facebook. Due to technical issues, we are unable to go live. Hence, we've recorded the program. And we are looking at the issues and hope to come live on Friday again. This program is going to be on for a small, limited period for about 10 minutes. We're just going to go through some issues that our catering industry members or our non-members have asked us the question. So I've got with me Mike Markham from Cavell HR.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Mike.
Hello.
Hi. And I've got Khurram Qudus from the Accountax world. Hi, Khurram.
Hi there. Hi, Shimu.
Hi. I've got Ali Ahmed from the Catering Association UK. Hi, Mr. Ali.
Hi everyone, how are you? Hope you're well.
Hi. Gentlemen, we are facing a unprecedented time at this moment, and obviously due to that, lots of restaurants, most of the restaurants industry, the hospitality industry actually is going through a rough time. So there are a lot of questions that has been put through to us from our members, non-members. So I'm going to start with Mark. Regarding Mike. Sorry, Mike. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been speaking with a lot of people today. Yes, Mike. So yeah, just do you want to say briefly what Cavell HR is?
Yeah, great. So we are an HR specialist for the catering and hospitality industry. So we've been helping, supporting companies at the moment in time going through this particular process and with their HR and their contracts in the first instance. So we're very much niched into what's happening within the industry with people who have restaurants moving into takeaways, doing a bit of both, or currently actually closing right now, and managing them through that process with their staff and trying to put in place a plan of action that helps them to kind of know what they're going to do when, how they need to do it, and then how they can actually plan to come back out of this as well when we come to the other side of this.
Sure. Thank you. Mike, so I've got a question for you now. Everybody, it's been nearly about 3 weeks now, so people asking, there is a question, how long do I need to place someone in furlough?
So
how long can I place someone in furlough for?
So there's a very clear definition as to how long the government will enable someone to be able to be in furlough for. That's a period of 3 weeks. So for any one period of being on furlough, the very minimum that someone has to be in that is for 3 weeks. You can bring people back from furlough, and there's no definition as to how long they have to be back before they can go on furlough again. But if you did bring someone back, the same definition applies. If they go back onto furlough, then it's for another 3 weeks.
Okay, so basically, is it maximum 3 weeks or 4 weeks or more?
It's a minimum. It's a minimum of 3 weeks.
Minimum of 3 weeks.
A minimum of 3 weeks. So just to be clear on that, if you had somebody and you took them off of furlough after 2.5 weeks, they wouldn't qualify under the job retention scheme. So you have to keep them on to furlough for a minimum of 3 weeks.
Sure. Okay, one more question, then I'm going to move to Khurram. Is can I ask staff to still do work during furlough?
Absolutely not. So when someone is on furlough, it's the same as being on sabbatical. So they're out of work. They should not be doing any work activities. They shouldn't be doing anything that would lead to them being able to generate any income for the business in any way, shape or form. They can do volunteer work outside of your business, but they should not be doing any work for you during that period.
Sure. Thank you, Mike. I'll come back to you in a bit. Khurram.
Yes.
How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Fine, thank you, Khurram. Good.
Just stay safe in this environment.
Yes, thank you for joining us at such a short notice.
No worries.
Okay, the 80% salary paid by the government.
Yes.
Is the portal ready?
No, portal is not ready yet, and we understand from HMRC today that should be ready by 20th of April, where the employees can be added up and they can claim the 80% of the salary from their employer can do it on their behalf as well. And if there are any agents, who were working or they were running the payroll for the companies, the accountants and the agents can do this thing on their behalf as well.
Sure, sure.
But to do that, as like Mike said, we need to have a proper furlough scheme in place. And if somebody is going to do the furlough for minimum 3 weeks, they need to have the document or the contract signed up with the employer to follow up for the 80% retention.
Okay, so the obviously the lockdown started about on the 17th of March, then updated on the 20th of March. You're saying that until 20th of April, no employer can apply for the salary scheme, 80% salary scheme?
No, they can, and employer can apply from 20th March onward if the business has been locked down. And like for example, in our restaurant business, if there is no takeaway service was in place and they have shut down the restaurants, then they can definitely apply for the 80% from the 20th of March, which obviously once the portal is ready, HMRC wants to do a bit of due diligence testing before they get the portal ready. So hopefully it should be ready by 20th. Then we will precisely know that the date from 20th of March the people can use the furlough scheme.
Sure. So basically, the portal you're saying start with April the 20th, but they can backdate it from the March, the claim.
Yes, right. Sure.
Thank you, Khurram. I'll come back to you in a bit. Let me just speak to Mr. Ali Ahmed. Good evening, Mr. Ali.
Good evening. How are you, Shimu? Hope you're well.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for coming along, Mr. Ali. You're representing Catering Association UK. So yes, what are you doing for the hospitality industry, especially our Indian and Bangladeshi restaurant sector?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you. This good program. We were supposed to go live, but with technical issues, difficulties, we're having to pre-record this. Hopefully we will. Yes, we, the Catering Association UK, CA UK, is running a vigorous campaign. And you see, we small businesses, especially the Indian restaurant sector, and we rely a lot on online ordering platforms, such as Just Eat, Uber Eats, delivery. So our campaign is, we're hitting it very hard because we have got a lot of members and everybody is facing the same issue, because now the only type of orders that's coming in is online orders. People pay for them online, and the commission Just Eat's charging, delivery, Uber Eats, is ridiculous. Even though there is a scheme where the Just Eat has said there'll be a rebate of 33%, that's peanuts. It's 33%. Somebody's paying £500-600 every week on commissions. They're getting probably about £150 off. So now our vigorous campaign is, we want to tell Just Eat, Uber Eats, look, we've got hundreds of businesses on board, and we want you to reduce your commission, or at least for a couple of months, go zero on your commissions. So I'm hoping they will listen to us and, fingers crossed, do something about it. That's one of our main campaign at this very moment, due to these unprecedented times.
I'm sure the restaurateurs are taking the risk to support the community and our frontline staff, and this is a very good thing that all the restaurant, especially if you look at it, most of the restaurant sector are not running at this moment. Only the Indian and the Bangladeshi restaurant sectors are running, and they are providing support to the community and the frontline staff, definitely.
That is right. Just to say, I have a few businesses myself, and all my restaurants are closed at this very moment. But I'm opening one this weekend. The only reason is I've got on my Facebook page, I've got like hundreds of messages when you're opening, because everybody's struggling for food. That's number one, because we British people, we love eating outside. The last 3 weeks, we've been eating home-cooked food and we're getting bored. So everybody wants to eat outside. And Indian is the British favorite. So now, I think 50% of restaurant takeaways are closed. Hence, everybody's going crazy. So upon public demand, I'm only opening for the community. The people, they need food. There's vulnerable people out there. They can't go out to shop. They're ordering a takeaway, so it's delivered to the doorstep, so it's more convenient. So we're putting ourselves at risk to provide for the community. But it's these times, hard times, we have to work together and beat this.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. Thank you. So, Mike, I've got a question for you here from one of our members saying that, do I have to pay the remaining 20%? Is it for Khurram or Mike? Is the question for Khurram or Mike?
I can cover this. If there's anything else that Khurram wants to add
as
well.
I think anybody can answer now.
I think the first things first. There's a couple of bits just to cover, but I mean, the 20% is a voluntary. So there isn't anything on a business that says that they have to pay that 20% top up. So literally, if you are furloughing your staff, you're getting the coverage of the 80%. So it'll be the 80% of their salary. And I can pass it over to Khurram to have a talk about how you calculate that and comes to that figure. But you don't have to do the 20% top up. The key thing with the staff when they are on furlough, which Khurram touched on as well, is making sure that regardless of whether your staff have contracts, don't have contracts, you should be looking to make sure that people are realistically trying to sign on to agree to be in furlough. So you should be writing to them formally, notifying them of that and giving the option to agree to it. Because in most cases, unless you do have a layoff clause in your contracts, it's highly unlikely that they would have that clause and you'd have to get their agreement to do so. The consequences are quite severe, because if you don't get that consent from people beforehand, then potentially there's a breach of contract or an unlawful deduction of wages. So making sure you're doing the furlough in the correct way, and then obviously coming on to, like Kareem is going to go on to hopefully in a minute, around calculating that payroll, around the 80% for your staff. But obviously, no, you don't have to top up the 20% after that.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. There's another question, but I don't know is this appropriate or not. It says like, can I just backdate my payroll and put people on?
I'm sure Kareem would have something to say on that as well.
I'm reading that question.
Yeah, that's a good question, but I'm afraid not. The reason is that because I think HMRC will be, because as you all aware of, there is RTI system, which is a real-time information been in place for last 3 years, and they will be definitely taking the February month as an example to continue on that thing. So unfortunately, that option is not as viable. But again, that if there is something missed out and there is another issue, then obviously that can be taken as per the case. We can look into that later on that one.
I think just on that one as well is that obviously we've had that question before in the past as well ourselves, and obviously it's based on people who are on your payroll from the 28th of February or before. So you can't backdate your payroll, like Kareem was saying, and you've got the RTI system. You can't just then backdate it. And HMRC have been very clear on all of these processes and all of these grants. They withhold the right to be able to do an audit on this. So if they have any questions on everything, then they will be able to actually audit that. I think that's specifically for people in the community that have had people that aren't necessarily on the payroll, which potentially isn't the right thing to do either. But obviously you are where you are, and you can only apply that scheme to people who are employed in your business from the 28th of February or before.
The Catering Association UK member, Mr. Jihad from Birmingham, actually. I'm still running a takeaway, so need some staff in the restaurant. Can I pick who I want?
Again, the employment law still stands as it is. Nothing changes around that. So selecting who's going to get full pay and who's going to get 80%, you need to go through a fair process and to select that. What I would say is if you had, for example, you take your takeaway option and you said that my chef is actually quite important, I've got one chef, that person probably needs to be one of the people that's not furloughed. And then you'd need to do a careful selection around the other people, because obviously you'd still have the issues around discrimination potentially in place as to who you select, because someone's going to get preferential treatment there in being able to come to work and get 100% salary, and other people potentially going to be on 80%. But you can do what we call a half and half, where you have a certain amount of people doing your takeaway operations and the rest of the people are currently on furlough for their 3 weeks minimum. But obviously be careful how you're selecting your staff rather than just picking who you want.
Okay. Khurram.
Yes.
Mr. Ali, I'll come back to you in a bit.
Yeah, that's fine, Norris.
I've got a question for you. Look, normally restaurant are paid, or staff are paid weekly, and as you said, like on the 20th of April, they can apply for the 80% of salary. So until then, do I need to pay my staff if they're on furlough?
You see, as you know, this is very unprecedented time, and as per the goodwill gesture, if the company or the restaurant or any business has the capacity to pay, they could pay 80% because there is, as per the choice, or they can pay 100% as well. But that definitely, the people who've gone on the furlough, they will be reimbursed from that date. But on the same time, it all depends on the employer at the moment. If he has the funds available and he wants to continue paying the weekly basis, he can do that.
Okay, so what I understand that if the company is able to pay its staff, they should pay, and once the system is up and running, they will be reimbursed.
That's correct.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Sorry, the other thing I'll just add to that as well, if you have staff with contracts and it's contractually obliged you're going to pay them on a weekly basis and you're not going to be able to do so, then you should include that in your furlough letter, that as well as the fact they're going to be furloughed and their pay is going to go down to 80%, that actually their pay may be a little bit later rather than weekly, it might be monthly, as an example, as an adjustment, because otherwise, again, you don't want to be in breach of the contractual terms that you may have with your staff members.
Sure, no problem. Yes, so Mr. Ali, Catering Association, you said something on your website that basically regarding some comment about the grant. So there are
grant, yes.
Yeah.
So
there is a third party companies going around and saying that they will apply for it and they're charging a fee.
Yeah.
And what's your say on that?
See, hence we update our website every day. We have a very good, strong team working, because every day we're getting new information from the government. So hence we're updating our website every day. So I urge everybody to go online, Caterers Association UK website, plenty of information, very, very helpful. So you'll guide you through. The thing is, third-party organisations advertising, to help them for a fee of 25% off the amount wherever the government gives, for them to apply for the government grant. So now that is total fraud. It's all it is, 3-4 lines you need to fill in: company details, VAT registration details, your business rates account number, that's it. And your respective council knows who is entitled to what grant. So they've got it on their system. So now even still, because I know we have a lot of, our members who are not very well in probably English or whatever, if you need help filling forms in anything, we will do it for you on your behalf, completely free of charge. All you need to do is email us at covid19@cauk.org. That's COVID-19 at cauk.
I think at thecauk.co.
Yes, sorry, yeah. COVID-19 at thecauk.org. Completely free of charge. We want to do everything we can for our members. That's why we're here. We're the voice of the people, and hopefully, with everybody's help, we will go further. And please, I'm telling everyone again, do not approach these companies. Total sham. Thank you.
I could not agree more than Mr. Ali, and he's absolutely right. And that please, that's very simple process. Quite a lot of our clients, who has the restaurants and the retail shops, has already got the grants. And frankly speaking, that's from the 2nd of April. The councils are releasing the money as soon as they, do a very little check on that at the moment. So the grants is already available, and quite a number of clients already got it.
Sure. Yeah, Mr. Ali, as it Catering Association is a new organization and everything, I'm sure you're offering a lot of help towards the restaurant sector, the people that who needs help at this moment, including today's live, supposed to be live, but it's recorded one. It's actually towards the member and the non-members that are listening today.
Yes, what I'd like to say is, we, the Caterers Association in UK, there is other bodies as well. I praise everybody for their work, but we do things a little bit different. We're here for you. We are your voice. Anything you need to know, like I said, we have a very good website. Everything's on there. Our email address again, covid19@thecauk.org. You could email us. Our team will respond to you straight away. The one issue that I'm hearing from our members, the government-backed business loans. Okay, now, the government has recently said to banks, they've had a meeting with the lenders, they said to the banks, the people the businesses that's going to apply for the loans, they won't need any guarantors. But still, I've had our members who are struggling to access these funds. If you are one of them, please get in touch with us. We have got relevant, we've got contacts with relevant authorities that we could put you through to. So, getting a loan, if you're eligible, if you pass all the security tests, you should get that loan because it's available. The bank has got the money. They just need to release it. They do the checks. They should release the money. But I know there's a lot of members saying, look, we're struggling, even with the grant. We still need a loan to survive. Fair enough. That's why the government has given the loan. So if you're facing any problems, please get in touch with us. We can direct you to the right person to deal with that.
Sure. Thank you. Gentlemen, as we have supposed to start our live at 6 p.m. Now it's nearly 8 o'clock. I know it's been a long time, and we're going to finish this off now. And hopefully our tech people can sort things out for next Friday. We'll go live at 7 o'clock and hopefully give them more. Mike, lastly, what do you want to say to the people who have got loads of questions in their head? Is it something that they shouldn't worry? Speak to their accountant. If any help, they should come to us. You're there, something like that. What do you want to say to them, please?
Yeah, well, we're working with you guys at the Catering Association. So if they have any questions, if they have any concerns, if they're thinking about how they can try and plan for their business to go through this process, this crisis that we're currently in right now, and what are the next measures they need to consider, then they can absolutely contact us through you guys and also through the WhatsApp groups that are available. We can help them to build that plan. Equally, we are contributing to the WhatsApp groups as well with any questions that are being answered as and when we can to some of those bits and pieces as well. They can always contact us, and we're available on info@caval, cavel.hr.co.uk. And also in terms of things, we've also got a YouTube page as well, but I'll pass that over to you separately, and you can put that on there as well. We've got lots of videos on there around this, and we're adding to that on a regular basis, and we'll be doing a bit more of that too.
Sure. Yes. Also, there is something that obviously, if there is any issue with their what they call the agreement with the employer and employee contract,
the employment contracts. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things we have found quite a lot is if you have people that don't have contracts. That's very common. You do have them implied, but having them in writing
stuff, is quite
important, and we can help out with that as well. And I think everyone's starting to realise how important it is to have those terms and conditions in writing right now, as compared to just having them verbalized between each other. So absolutely, they can always contact us on that, and we have a special arrangement to give them a special deal on that as well, and that's because obviously through the Caterers Association.
Sure. Thank you, Mike. Khurram, where are you coming from? And Accountax Gold. I've known Accountax for about more than 10 years, and obviously I don't need to say anything about Accountax Gold. Actually, I would like to say thank you on behalf of Caterers Association for your help and ongoing help towards our industry. Yes, Khurram, can you say something towards the restaurateurs that who are at this moment going through some rough time due to the COVID-19?
Yeah, sure. I can tell the people, obviously, we haven't seen this thing before, and we don't want to see this thing in future as well. As per the client, accountants, government, HMRC was not well prepared for it. This is very unprecedented time and very difficult time for all of us, but we have to work as a team. And if anyone's need any assistance, anything, please do not afraid of, speaking to your friends or as an accountant, they will help you. Government is really backing up at the moment and for next 3 months for sure. So we need to make sure that, we do not get panic on any situation. We'll come through things as a Britisher, as together, we can definitely get back to normal very quickly and hope things get better. But on the same time, the message is to stay safe as well. That's the most important thing. As like Ali said, the people wants to open the restaurant, which we like to eat outside for sure. And there are quite a lot of restaurants and the business people are doing it, which obviously putting their life, their things in danger, but to make sure the people has been served on the other side. As you can see from the news as well, there was voluntary people asked for 250,000, but over 1 million people have signed up for do the voluntary work. So we have to work together, and let's get this time passed through nicely.
Thank you, Khurram. Finally, Mr. Ali, as our organization, Mr. Ali, you there?
Yes, sorry, let's be there for a second.
You guys change places.
All right.
Anyhow, Mr. Ali, final thoughts on your from you regarding the restaurant sector, the hospitality sector, please.
First of all, I pray this thing gets over real quick, because it is very difficult times for everybody around the world, especially the UK. And our generation has never ever thought of anything that will happen like this. And neither were we actually prepared for anything like this. But we have to keep on going. We have to move ahead. We cannot stop. My advice to all the businesses, keep going. If you need any help, like I said, contact us, Caterers Association UK. We've got the email, which is covid19@thecauk.org. We will help you as much as we can. That's why we're here. And also, stick together. Let's beat this thing. Hopefully, there's a saying, end of the tunnel, there's always light. So even if you're in difficulty now, a couple of weeks down the line, the sunny days will come. I'd like to thank the government. The British government is awesome. They're doing a really, really good job, because look at the amount of money they are pumping into the businesses. No other government in this world could do that. And so I praise the government. I praise all the local organizations that is actually sticking together. They're helping each other, especially the NHS. Great job you guys are doing. I know I'm proud of all of especially our restaurant sector people. I think out of the 100% restaurant that's open now, 99% of restaurants are actually feeding NHS staff for free. That is big. So I'm really proud of our restaurant staff, restaurant businesses, our catering industry. I'm really proud of them. So hopefully, let's stick together. Let's pray together. This thing will come to an end. And thank you very much, Mr. Abedur Rahman Shimu, for a very nice program. And unfortunately, we've had a very bad technical issue today. We couldn't go live. We want to speak to you about a lot of stuff. But hopefully, over the next coming days, we will, because I have got a list of stuff that I want to speak to you about. I want our members to know what we're doing, what sort of help is out there. because there's still issues are there for the rent, your mortgage payments. So we still need to discuss all this in detail. So hopefully next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, finally, I'd like to say, I'd like to remember our Prime Minister. Our thoughts and prayers are with him at this moment, and hope that he gets well soon and come back and run this country. And hopefully it will be sooner rather than later. And yes, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm sorry again that basically due to technical issues, we didn't go live. Khurram, Mike, hopefully we will see you again on Friday.
Yes, sure, absolutely.
I'm sure you will.
We'll be there.
And let's talk on Friday. Yeah,
We'll do that.
Gentlemen, and hope to see everyone live Friday at 7 p.m. And hopefully we will have another host who has got some information for the loan that are needed for the sector, our sector. Thank you very much. And
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you.
Thank you for hosting. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
very
Good
kind.
night.
Thank you. All the best. Bye.